Well, hello, my third and fourth graders. I'm getting ready for vacation. I hope you guys are too. And here is some more of the one and only Bob. Ivan's Art. How's it going, girl? I called Ruby as she stops near the moat edged by the wall. I had cantaloupe for breakfast, Uncle Bob, and it was yummy. And then I took a mud bath. She paused to take a breath. Do you want to hear a new dog riddle, Uncle Bob? Of course I do, I say, as I catch Ivan's amused glance. What kind of dog is always on time? Asked Ruby. You got me, Ruby. I'm totally baffled, befuddled, bewildered. What kind of dog? A watchdog, Ruby exclaimed. Watchdog. Get it, Uncle Bob? Not bad, Ruby. Not bad at all, I say. Ivan says it's going to rain buckets, said Ruby. She dips her trunk in the moat and blows bubbles. I think Ivan is on to something there. Did he show you his new picture? Ruby asked. She grabbed a tuft of grass and tossed it in the air. I wish I could see it, but I can't 'cause of that silly wall. But he told me about it. My pal Ivan is quite the artist, just like Julia. Ivan sits up and nods toward a spot on the wall. Another mural? Of mud? I asked. As any good dog knows, dirt plus water equals mud, and mud means mess, and mess means less roll in this stuff and maybe dig a hole or 10 or 2. But for Ivan, mud plus a flat surface equals a waiting canvas. I crane my neck, edging a bit farther down the top of the wall. Don't want to draw attention to myself. Hey, nice, I say. I mean, I'm not an art guy. To me, art is a glop of spray cheese on a cheese dog with extra grated cheese on top. Still, I have always admired Ivan's work. Ivan begins. No, I say, don't tell me, let me guess. You always guess wrong, Ivan says. Not always. You thought my palm tree was a dandelion. Art is in the eye of the beholder, I say. You thought my blackberries were giant ants. Kenyani ambles up to join the conversation, and need I remind you that you thought his portrait of me was a chimpanzee with gas? Well, the resemblance was striking, I say. Kimari glares at me. She glares at me a lot. On the subject of chimps. Probably I shouldn't have mentioned the chimp angle. Gorillas are not as open-minded as dogs. A lot of them have a thing about chimps. They think they're clowns. But when I look at apes and gorillas, seems to me they have a lot more in common than they'd like to admit to. Dogs ain't perfect, but I'll tell you one thing we rule with, tolerance. For us, a dog is a dog is a dog. I see a Great Dane. I say howdy. I run into a puggle. It's glad to meet you. How's it going? Smelled any good pee lately? Go to a dog park and you'll see. We are equal opportunity playful. You sniff my rear, I sniff yours. You do not see that with humans, obviously. Constantly seeing differences where none exist. All those things like skin color, dogs could care less. You think I won't hang with a Dalmatian 'cause he's spotted? Or a Shar Pei 'cause she's wrinkled? I'm not saying I love every dog I meet. Snickers comes to mind. But I always give a dog the benefit of the doubt. Life is short, play is good, and there are plenty of tennis balls to go around. A very handsome dog. Hey, Aunt Canary, Ruby calls. Once again, Ruby, said Canary, I am not your aunt. I am a primate, and you, my dear, are not. More's the pity. But if Ivan is my uncle, then you have to be my aunt, Ruby declares. Says Ivan, pointing to the wall. My painting, Bob? I consider it. It looks like a dog? Ruby flapped her ears. I can tell she is trying very hard to stay quiet. A very handsome dog, I add. Is it? It is, Ruby exclaimed. It's you, Uncle Bob. Uncle Ivan told me. But who's that? I asked, pointing to the other set of mud strokes. I thought you needed a companion, said Ivan. I know you must be getting lonely at home by yourself all day. It is true, but I never mentioned that to Ivan. Guy's like a mind reader. I think Snickers and Bob would make a cute couple, said Ruby. I blink in disbelief. Bite your trunk. Ruby starts to reply, but her voice is drowned out by a sharp clap of thunder. Storm's getting close, said Kenyani. Ivan, dear, come on. You know how you hate the damp. It's true. He carries around a burlap bag so he won't have to sit on the wet grass. Ivan looks at me sheepishly. She knows me so well. Kudzu, one of the baby gorillas, bounds over and leaps onto Ivan's back. Ivan loves all the youngsters, but Kudzu is his favorite. I think she reminds him of a little of his twin sister, Tag, who died when she was still a baby. Ride, Kudzu commands. Julie appears, her backpack at the ready. Bob, she calls, we need to get going. Ride now, Kudzu repeats, yanking on one of Ivan's ears. Looks like it's time to go, said Ivan. Good to see you, buddy. Stay dry, okay? Will do, big guy, I turned to Canary. Enchanted as always, my dear. A trumpeting noise cuts through the air. Uh-oh, says Ruby. That's Aunt Akello. Akello is the oldest of the elephant aunts and lumbers over. Come on, Ruby, weather's getting bad. Just one more minute, Ruby pleads. Now. But I need to tell Uncle Bob one more riddle. Now, Akilo repeats. Nobody ever listens to the littlest elephant, Ruby complains. You can tell me the riddle next time, kiddo, I say, winking to Akello. Ruby brightens. Okay, gotta go. I'll be in big trouble. Love you, Uncle Bob. See you later, Uncle Ivan and Aunt Kumari. I'm not sure, Canary begins, but Ruby is already galloping back to her herd. The beginning. In the distance, thunder growls long and low and not giving up. Reminds me of my stomach pre-breakfast. I test the air. Weird. Something isn't right. Julia, it's George rushing over. Hurry up, you need to get inside. George has an odd scent, like he's on guard. I've only smelled it a few times on him. I look up. The clouds have turned strange shades of green and yellow and gray and clustered together like rows of fat marshmallows. It's so ugly it's beautiful. I can't stop looking. And then the air goes still like a cat before it leaps on its prey. Canary and Ivan and Kudzu are racing towards the gorilla villa. A fat raindrop hits my nose and it tastes wrong. How can rain taste dangerous? People are yelling and running and opening umbrellas and covering their heads with maps of the park. More drops. At the fat end of the field, I can just make out Akello herding Ruby along. Another drop. A dry one, like a pebble. Hail, George said. Julia, now! And he grabs her hand. Rumbling, the sky boils and swirls. Bob, Julia calls. Come on! I move to leap off my perch to run to Julia. I've done it 1,000 times, but this time I lose my footing. I never slip. I'm as nimble as a nitwit. But the rain, the hail, I let out a yelp and I land on Ivan's side and roll in the mud. Bob, Julia screams. He'll be okay, George said. I can smell Julia's fear and George's doubt as he drags her away. Torn apart. Noise. It's all noise. Noise that hurts. Noise like a massive truck bearing down on us. The power of its engine. The inescapable of its wheels. The relentless roar. Nothing to see. Nothing even to smell. Just the terrible sound of the world disintegrating. No way. I'm flying! Okay, third and fourth graders, that was pretty traumatic. There's this huge storm coming down, and now all of a sudden, Bob is trapped in the storm. The last page, he goes flying. What do you think is going to happen to him? Make a prediction. I hope you guys are having a good day.